Your subconscious decides everything, including whether you'll be rich or not. But there is a loophole, a 7-second technique that literally fools him. Your subconscious doesn't question, it only obeys. When he receives a direct command, repeated with emotion, he executes. No debate, no logic. Now close your eyes and repeat with intent. Money already knows me. My subconscious obeys. Again, money already knows me. My subconscious obeys. Repeat this phrase for 7 seconds when you wake up or before bed, and watch what changes. But beware, what you just did may seem simple, even naive at first glance, but what's behind it? It is absolutely revolutionary. And throughout this video, you will understand why this small practice has the power to bend the reality around you. You'll understand the hidden mechanism behind this technique and why it works even when you don't believe it. But I want to ask you a question that you may never have asked yourself. Who is deciding what you live for? Your current bank account, how much you earn, what you attract, what you repel. All of these do not come from your logical consciousness. You are not clearly choosing what goes in and what goes out of your life. In fact, almost everything is already being decided before you even think about it. And here comes the central point. Your subconscious is the true boss of your reality. Joseph Murphy said that the subconscious accepts any idea printed repeatedly with emotion and conviction. He does not debate. He has no critical sense. It only obeys commands with emotional charge. In other words, if you repeat daily, even if for seconds, that money recognizes you, you are carving out a new program. It's hacking the system. You are circumventing the logical filter that prevents you from manifesting the life you want. But calm down. This isn't just about repeating phrases. It's about understanding how the game actually works. Have you ever wondered why sometimes it seems that the more you try, the less things happen? Have you ever had the feeling that money always finds a way to escape? Like sand between your fingers? As if you were born into an invisible script where abundance didn't choose you? This is no coincidence. This is subconscious programming in action. And the scariest thing is that this programming was not created by you. It was installed little by little. For phrases you heard in childhood, for situations where you've seen your parents struggling to pay bills, by repetitions of scarcity disguised as realism, for unprocessed traumas. And the worst? It still runs today. Even if you say you want to be rich, even if you study, make an effort, try to change, if your subconscious isn't in agreement, it will sabotage every step of the way. It's like trying to drive with the brakes on. And here's the point that can change everything. There is a shortcut, a breach, a glitch in the system, a way to infiltrate this programming and rewrite it without resistance. No internal debate, without the barrier of doubt, without the saboteur saying, "This is not for you." This shortcut happens in moments of transition between mental states, specific moments when your logical mind is silenced and the subconscious is vulnerable. These moments happen right after waking up and just before going to sleep. It's like you're between worlds, not even fully awake, nor completely unconscious. And it is in this interval that the 7-second technique has the most power. Because what you repeat at that moment goes straight to your inner core. And if you do it with emotion, with true intention, you set off a chain reaction. Your subconscious begins to look for proof that this is real. It activates a radar that connects you with ideas, opportunities, people, and situations compatible with this new command. Not because you make an effort, but because you're aligned. And this is where something important comes in. If you're listening to this and you feel like this message is for you, that there's a truth here that you can't ignore. So what comes next will touch you deeper. There is a special material that I have separated, something powerful for those who want to understand how to speed up the manifestation process in a practical way. It's in the first pinned comment. If this is resonating with you this far, click. there and find out how to activate this new way of living. Now, back to what matters most. Many still believe that manifesting money is just wishing a lot, or repeat phrases like a robot. But it's not about that. Real manifestation happens when you change your core vibration. And for that, the secret is not only in what you say, but in how you feel when you say it. When you repeat with intention, "Money already knows me. My subconscious obeys." You're not just saying something. You are accepting a new identity. You are seeing yourself from a new place, where money recognizes you because you have stopped hiding from it. You begin to vibrate as someone who already has what you want, and it is this vibration that changes everything. Because the universe does not respond to your desire. It responds to the frequency you emit constantly. But why 7 seconds? Why would this time be enough to deceive, or rather reprogram, the subconscious? The answer lies in the functioning of your energy field and your deep mind. During the first few seconds of a borderline state between sleep and wakefulness, your logical mind is at its weakest, and what you think or feel is registered directly in the subconscious as a truth. It's not time that matters, it's intensity. It is the quality of vibration. What you feel in the first few seconds of waking up, or in the last seconds before bed, it creates a magnetic field of influence that spreads throughout your day. If you wake up with thoughts of fear, scarcity, doubt, that's what you emanate, even if you say you want prosperity. But if you anchor a vibration of certainty and connection to money, you change the core frequency that you are emitting, and the subconscious is magnetic. He doesn't just register, he attracts. It molds your reality to your inner state. It is as if he is constantly saying, "So be it." Regardless of what you're repeating. If you say something with emotion, he believes it. If you feel it, it reproduces. Now imagine what happens when, every day, you plant this seed for just 7 seconds with real intention. Money already knows me. My subconscious obeys. You're not trying to convince anyone. You are giving a direct command to the foundation that creates everything in your life. This is where the game turns, because you start noticing subtle changes, and then obvious changes. You start to feel more comfortable with the idea of receiving. You become more receptive to opportunities. Things that once seemed impossible start to seem natural. And the money, it begins to emerge from unexpected places. But be careful. This doesn't happen because you said a magic phrase. The phrase is just the key. What matters is the internal state you access when you repeat it with intent. Have you ever noticed that the richest people are not afraid to talk about money? They are not ashamed to ask, negotiate, receive. This is not just financial education. It's emotional programming. It is the result of a mind that is already conditioned to abundance. They don't try to be rich. They expect to be rich. And that changes everything. The 7-second technique isn't about repeating to convince. It's about repeating to accept. Accept that you can. Accept that you are worthy. Accept that money is, indeed, a neutral, available energy that responds to your vibration. But here's what no one tells you. What most prevents people from manifesting wealth is not a lack of action. It is the hidden feeling of unworthiness. It's that quiet voice that says, "I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Rich people are different from me." These thoughts are like invisible walls. You even try to walk, but you always hit the same wall, and that's exactly why direct emotional command works so well, because he crosses these walls. He does not try to negotiate with them. It simply imposes a new order. When you say with conviction, "My subconscious mind obeys," you're not begging. He is taking office. You are declaring to the quantum field and to yourself that change begins now. Joseph Murphy once said, "You're like a gardener who plants seeds in the ground. What you sow, you reap. And the most fertile soil there is your subconscious. But no one taught you how to take care of it. You have been taught to react to life, not to create. And this inversion of perspective is what keeps so many people stuck. Now you know, everything you live today has been authorized from within. It doesn't matter if you studied, worked, made an effort. If there is a seed of scarcity inside, that is what will grow. But now comes the most important thing. The final reveal. That which you need to hear for all of this to make sense on a deeper level. The 7-second technique is only really effective when you associate it with an irreversible internal decision. And this decision is simple. No more living as if it were less capable, less intelligent, less deserving, less connected with abundance. This decision changes his field, because your camp reacts to your decision, not to his desire. The decision is what transforms repetition into a decree. Desire asks for it, but the decision rules, and your subconscious obeys commands, not requests. It responds to clarity. He responds to conviction. So what you're doing here is more than repeating words. You are taking control of your creative mind. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine. Imagine that you wake up tomorrow and before you even get out of bed, you repeat, "Money already knows me." My subconscious obeys. And instead of getting up as usual, something inside you changes. You feel different, as if he were finally in control. You will realize that the world does not change from the outside in. The money, the results, the people, the signs, everything starts to turn in your favor when you spin what's inside. You can try to live as you have lived until now, running after solutions, trying to fix what's broken, or you can decide today that everything changes because you have changed inside. And if you felt that this message was made for you, that it is no coincidence that you are here listening to this, then do not ignore this call. In the first pinned comment, there is something that can speed up this whole process. Something that will show you how to put all this into practice in a deeper way. Click there and start applying. Simple as that. And perhaps now a part of you is wondering, but is it really possible to change everything with words alone? And this doubt is fair. You've been conditioned to believe that everything has to be hard, that conquering something requires extreme effort, continuous sacrifice, constant struggle. You have been trained to sweat, not to receive. But here's a truth you may never have heard with this clarity. Reality doesn't respond to your effort. It responds to your inner state. And when your inner state changes, even what seemed impossible begins to happen fluidly. You're not using single words. You're accessing internal ports, shortcuts from your own system. You're rewriting the code of your experience. When you repeat, "Money already knows me, my subconscious obeys," you are generating an energetic frequency, a vibration that spreads beyond what you can see. Words are sound. Sound is vibration. And vibration is the raw material of reality. So don't underestimate the power of a decree, especially when it comes with intention, with decision. Because the universe, and your subconscious, do not ignore conviction. They follow, they obey, they bow to his innermost command. But there's something even deeper going on now. As you listen to this, parts of your unconscious are rearranging. Old beliefs are being questioned. Some memories, some sensations, maybe even resistance with money. All of this is starting to come to the surface because it is being illuminated, and everything that is illuminated can be transformed. The discomfort you feel when you imagine yourself really prosperous, getting more, living abundantly, is not a sign that this is not for you. It's just a sign that this image is still new. It's still strange. It is still incompatible with what you carried as truth. But this is Mudando, Agora.com. Every palavra, calm every breath. You're not just listening, you are awakening, and you may not even need to understand everything rationally, because the rational mind is limited. She will always want proofs, guarantees, linear paths. But manifestation does not happen by the logical mind. It happens through the deep mind, by the mind that feels, for the mind that vibrates. That's why people often try everything. They do techniques, visualizations, affirmations, but they don't feel it. And because they don't feel it, they don't manifest it. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you say with your mouth. He responds to what you say with his soul. And when you feel that money already recognizes you, when you feel that your subconscious obeys, you change the signature of your energy. You become a magnet. And life responds. Sometimes slowly, sometimes with surprising speed. But she always responds. The 7-second technique is just a seed. What makes it bloom is what you do afterwards. It is repetition with emotion. It is the firm decision. It's the courage not to go back when the old man tries to pull you, because he will try. The old voices, the repetitive patterns, the fears disguised as logic. They will try to convince you to stop, doubting, retreating. But that's when you need to remember. What scares you the most is precisely what you came to transform. You were not born to live limited. You're not here to survive by counting coins. You are part of a creative intelligence. You carry within you the same principle that generates galaxies. And do you still think you're small? Do you still think you are unworthy? That's not humility. That's spiritual amnesia. And it's time to wake up. It's time to look in the mirror and say, I accept being rich. I accept to live in abundance. I accept to be recognized by money, by life, by the universe. And this acceptance is not arrogance. It's alignment. It is remembering who you are before you were shaped by fears, by scarcity, by stories that were not even yours. That is the true manifestation. You come back to the center of who you are, and he begins to allow. And in this space, everything changes. You no longer live waiting for something to happen. You live as if it had already happened. Because in essence, it has already happened. The vibration has already been emitted. The field is already responding. You just need to stay anchored in that certainty. So from now on, every morning, 7 seconds. 7 seconds of command, vibration, connection. 7 seconds that can transform 7 decades. And before going to sleep, 7 more seconds. While the world sleeps, you reprogram. This is not just a technique. It is a reconfiguration. It is a silent alliance between you and life, a pact with abundance. And if you felt all this intensely, if these words touched a point that you didn't even know existed, then you already know. It's no coincidence. It's your moment. Leave your like now. If this message touched you, if something has changed inside, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content like this, that awakens, that expands, that activates something real. You deserve to live the extraordinary. And that starts when you recognize that you are already inside you. Because yes, money already recognizes you. And finally, your subconscious obeys.